Therapists, what if I told you one of the most powerful therapeutic skills you could develop is learning to sit with not knowing? I get it. Most of us were trained to be experts who provide answers, but what if our need to fix, solve, and resolve is actually getting in the way of real transformation? Today, I want to talk about something called negative capability and why it might be the most radical therapy tool you're not using. Negative capability was first described by the poet John Keats in 1817. He called it the ability to remain in uncertainties, mysteries, doubts without any irritable reaching after fact and reason. In therapy, this means the capacity to sit with not knowing without rushing to fix, solve, and resolve. And here's why this matters. Most of our clients' problems aren't actually problems of information. They're problems of being trapped in stories that no longer serve them. When we rush towards solutions, we often keep people stuck in the same thinking that created their difficulties in the first place. Let's be honest about what we were taught. Most therapeutic training programs reward us for solving problems quickly, providing answers and solutions, reducing anxiety by creating certainty, and of course, moving towards closure and resolution. But what if these very impulses are preventing the conditions necessary for genuine transformation? I see this all the time in supervision. A therapist will say, my client doesn't know what to do about their relationship, and I don't know how to help them decide. And I'll start by saying, perfect, you're both exactly where you need to be. Negative capability invites us into something radically different. Instead of rushing to eliminate uncertainty, we dwell in it as a generative space. Instead of let's figure this out, we might ask, what's it like being in this not knowing? What information might be available in this uncertainty that wouldn't be there if you'd already decided? What wants to emerge if we don't rush towards a solution? The paradox is beautiful. By not rushing toward answers, we often create conditions where genuine insight can occur. Let me tell you about a hypothetical client I'll call Maria. She comes to therapy saying, I keep having these panic attacks and I don't understand why. I need help to figure them out, what's causing them. And previous therapists have tried everything, exploring triggers, childhood trauma, thought patterns, all the logical approaches, all helpful to some degree, but the panic attacks continued. Instead of joining her and trying to solve the mystery, I might say something that I hope brings surprise, like, what if we don't need to understand them right now? What's it like to be with these experiences without needing to figure them out? I imagine at first she'll be frustrated. She'll want answers, but slowly I trust something will shift. Instead of fighting the panic or analyzing it, she will become curious about it. And in that space of not trying to solve, she might begin to notice things that had been invisible when she was frantically searching for explanations. The panic, she might realize, has always come when she was about to express something important. It wasn't random. It was a message. The solution in this case emerged organically from not knowing, not from analysis. I know this challenges everything we've been taught. Negative capability is difficult because our culture rewards quick fixes and immediate answers. Clients often come with urgency, expecting solutions. We can feel like we're not doing our job if we don't provide direction. And of course, the systems pressure us towards brief, solution-focused approaches. But here's what I've learned in my years of practice. The clients who transform most deeply are the ones who learn to tolerate not knowing, tolerate uncertainty. So how do we practice negative capability? Here are some ways I work with this. Instead of what should you do, try what would it feel like not to have to decide right now? What emerges when we sit with this question for a while? Instead of let's analyze this, try what's it like to let this remain mysterious for now? What if this confusion is exactly where you need to be? Instead of here's what I think, try I wonder or I'm curious about. What do you notice when you stop trying to figure it out? And therapists, we have to practice this ourselves. I regularly check in with my own tolerance for uncertainty, asking questions such as, where am I rushing towards solutions because of my own anxiety? What would it be like to trust this process without directing it? How can I be curious about what's emerging rather than anxious about what's unclear? Because if I can't tolerate not knowing, I'll unconsciously pressure my clients towards premature closure. Now, negative capability isn't a therapy technique. It's an invitation into a different way of being human. In a world that's constantly demanding certainty, speed, and solutions, and the ability to dwell in mystery becomes a radical act. When we stop irritably reaching after fact and reason, as Keats says, we create space for intuitive knowing to emerge, for creative solutions that logic couldn't reach, for deeper wisdom that comes from dwelling in mystery. So here's what I invite you to try this week. The next time a client asks you for a solution or says, I don't know what to do, resist the urge to problem solve immediately. Instead, get curious about their not knowing. Ask, what's it like to be in this uncertainty? What might emerge if we sit with this question together? And notice your own impulse to provide answers. What happens in your body when you don't know? Can you be present with the discomfort without rushing to eliminate it? Your clients don't need to have all the answers. They need you to be present with their questions in a way that helps them discover their own wisdom. Sometimes the most therapeutic thing you can say is, I don't know. Let's sit with that together. Peace.